A project milestone is a way to observe, measure, and monitor the progress and/or performance of a project. Milestones in general exist as intermediate stages that must be fulfilled before reaching a final goal or objective. In terms of their usefulness, milestones can be defined and provide a foundation from which to monitor progress. They can also serve as proof for explaining and reporting the status of a project. Key characteristics of milestones include their frequency and potential for providing opportunities for course corrections and learning experiences. Milestones can also be used to maintain accountability and motivate staff. Let's look at some of the different types of milestones often used during a project, including some real-life examples. Keep in mind that not every deadline met or task completed will represent a milestone. Intermediate stages should be considered significant in terms of meeting the overall project goal. First example is high-priority tasks or decisions crucial to the completion of a project. For example, if children will be participating in your project, you'll need to get parental consent forms signed. You may also have to research the ethical and legal considerations involved in having minors participate in a project. Another example would be checkpoints or percentages of completion. For instance, if you are designing an advertising campaign, obtaining sketches and images might be considered a project checkpoint. If you obtain them on schedule halfway through the project, you'll know the project is 50% complete. Deliverables that meet deadlines can also be milestones. If you are designing new computer software, the actual software is the deliverable. Therefore, you can measure the progress of the project when the deliverable or software is completed. Another example of milestones would be the usage of time or resources. This refers to the specific number of hours or materials allotted to a project. For example, if a project is expected to take 10 hours and cost $10,000 to finish, completing 5 hours of work and spending $5,000 may be considered a milestone. Some other examples of milestones include soliciting and receiving funding for a project, completing prototypes, obtaining patent approvals, hiring and staffing a project, signing contracts, and writing press releases. So how do you know if something is a milestone? As an aspiring project manager, you may want to use the following 3 questions to help you determine milestones for a project. One question you'd ask is, what is the rate of importance for a certain task in terms of project completion? If you answer it's very important, then that task could be a milestone. You should also ask what would happen if a certain task was completed or not completed according to the planned timeframe. If the impact is detrimental to the project, the task could be a milestone. Finally, you could ask, is a certain task a good representation of a successful project? If you answer yes to this question, then again, it could be a milestone. Let's recap all we have learned. A project management milestone is a measurement or way to monitor how a project progresses. Milestones can be observed and defined, and often lay the foundation to monitor progress. Some examples of milestones include high-priority tasks, checkpoints, and deliverables. They can also include obtaining funding and patents, producing prototypes and press releases, hiring staff, and signing contracts. Knowing the importance of a task and how vital it is to a project are good ways to determine milestones.